Okay, so in the previous tutorial, I kind of mentioned that maybe this piece here was a little bit too high poly with 117 polys. Times that by, 20 pieces times 4 floors is a lot of polys. I think it was like 11,000 polys. So, um, okay, so the good part is we broke this up into sections. So this section is 15 polys, that's nothing. This is 10, that's nothing. So the bulk of our polys are in these windows. So if we wanted to isolate the selection and let's say we're creating LODs, different geometry for different distances. Seeing this window from afar with edges off, uh, some of these edges aren't going to matter. So um, what I'm going to do is get rid of some of these edges we don't really need. Um, and we can decide later if we want to use this. What I'm going to do is delete a lot of these edges, or faces. So I'm going to delete every face except for the window, the window glass, and then we're going to have one frame for it. So, which is going to be like the outer frame. So at a very large distance, we're not going to notice the difference. So I just grab this one up here. And the reason I'm not deleting the planes in the middle that are actually the glass plate is we already have that UV'd, so we don't want to waste that UV and get rid of it and then have to re-UV it. Um, it would just be, I mean, we could do it, but I mean, why do it if we don't have to? So now our frames are out, so that's 32 polys right there. So we delete that and then grab our windows here. And actually, I'm going to grab this window and I'm going to snap it with the move tool to our inside bevel here. And I'm still going to keep a frame because, there's supposed to be a frame there, so it just didn't need to be that detailed. So I think if I scale this with scale is going to have to be, well, I think if I just move the points, that will work just as well. Almost better, probably. So we're just going to move these points to our inside frame. So let's do the same thing with this window pane. And hopefully when we're done with this, maybe we could use this for, let's say maybe a not so close-up view. And then we've got the window below. And if we have to do one more level of detail, maybe we just make the just a flat, um, maybe we could make just a flat frame. So let's see where we are now. Turn snap off. It's all connected. We're at 60. So we went from about 90 to 60. So I think, let's just go ahead and I'm just going to copy this, clone it, and we're going to call this mid poly window. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to our high poly window. Okay, so when we duplicated it, it duplicated itself. Actually, the high poly is already deleted. So we'll have to grab that from one of our old files. But I just wanted to make a point of saying that this is the mid poly. So I'm going to name this mid poly. And then I'm going to clone it and call this low poly. And You know, maybe these other pieces should be lower poly count too, but really it's just a box, so I'm not too concerned about the poly count on that. So I'm gonna grab the mid poly and put it on a layer called mid poly, and then get rid of or turn it off. Now for this, I'm gonna isolate the selection, and we're gonna do the same thing to this. We're just gonna take out this frame, and then um, stretch the window pane out to the frame, and then it'll just be pretty much a flat surface after we're done with it. But it's still gonna appear 3D um, because we have the normal map, and because it's gonna look that way anyway because of our the frame that's actually there. So turn on snap. So after this is done, there's really not much more we can do um, for this piece. Okay, so that's good. So now we're down to 45 polygons, and it really doesn't look that much different. So we call it our low poly, our mid poly, and our high poly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a new layer and call it low poly. And then I'm going to save this file. And take it, snap to this corner here. And that's going to snap to this corner. That didn't snap right. So let's grab this and just snap it right to there. And then this is the key one. I'm going to take this one and snap it from this corner to this one here. And then I'm going to want to select just going to deselect and then select by material or select by group, and then I'll copy. Now I can copy them to everything else, this corner to this intersection here, and then make 25 copies. And that made them copied all over there. And right now they're still in groups. I mean, they're still in layer group. So everything that is low poly, mid poly is in here. These two groups here. So they're all right here. So all we got to do is snap them down and repeat them 4 times, 4 copies. So, well, we can group it. Maybe if we set the pivot point to right here, it'll let us snap it from right there. So we're going to take this point here, snap it to right there, and then make 4 copies. There we go. So that worked. Alright, well, we don't need that last copy. Just delete these, and then we don't need this one. And so anyway, and then this is going to be the high poly. Well, we'll call it high poly, but it's still kind of low poly. But try to select all of this, and then deselect the windows, just because it's less than deselecting the other parts. Okay, so now that we have them all selected, I'm going to go to Edit, Clone, copy them, and paste them into the low poly. Select them again and clone them. Paste them into the high poly. And then select these ones again and paste them into the low poly. So now let's take a look at our poly count. We'll start with the high poly. That's at 11,000. The mid poly's at 7,000. And the low poly's at 5,000. So not too bad for 80% of the building. Um, and really, you don't really notice it that much. It's just going to be on the really up close shots near the bottom of the building where we're going to see it. So, but there's the option there of using the LODs. So it's going to do a quick save and then we'll work on the next piece.